Hello everyone, this is Pastor Lon Out, a homesteading pastor. We're with my beautiful wife Robbie Lynn. And we want to invite you guys for another episode of Come Sit a Spell. Right?
Right.
We're out here on the front porch enjoying this nice cool weather. I don't know that what temp is. Thermostat's up there, but I can't see it from here. I mean thermometer's up there, I can't see it from here. Thermostat's in there too. But anyway, we just wanted to let you know we're enjoying some nice weather, and we got a little bit of rain today, finally.
This afternoon, while we were at church.
On the way back from church, got a little bit of rain, but every little bit's a help right now. It's pretty dry right here.
On the way from church, it was bad.
Yeah. But
about got killed.
Yeah, speaking of that, we want 72 degrees out here, but it's no humidity.
Don't feel like
no,
72.
it don't feel like. But on the way back from church, before we get into our talk tonight, on the way back from church, we were probably about halfway from the church to here, home. And we were riding down the road, raining pretty hard, and a guy coming, Robbie, Lon, look out. And the guy came all the way over in our lane, and right at the last minute, he snatched it back in his lane. And
we thought he was turning into
like
the driveway in front of us.
Yeah, like he was turning in the driveway. But then he was driving a red Corvette,
yeah.
And the window was rolled down, and it pouring down rain. I don't know if he was intoxicated or couldn't see for the rain, or I don't know. But anyway, it was pouring down rain. His window rolled down. I don't know what was going on with it. But the last minute, thank the Lord, he went back the other way. And
you had already started going off the road.
I went over as far as I could to the right to get away from him. So just wanted to let y'all know about that, and give God the praise for watching over us tonight, because just as easy it could have been the other way. We could have gotten a bad wreck. So just want to share that with you. But I hope he made it wherever he was going. If he was intoxicated, there was so many cars going on behind him, I didn't turn around and go back and try to catch up with him. But anyway, we're back home. I was in the mountains last week, and we're back home now, which kind of made me think about what I wanted to talk about tonight. The topic tonight is the need for human interaction, aka fellowship, one with another. And that's something that's missing in this country and in the culture, really around the world, I guess, in other countries too. I was just telling Robbie, I don't understand how I would go crazy if I had to stay home by myself all the time inside the house. I mean, at least I would like to go outside and talk to the animals or something, but
you would talk to the wall.
I'm a people's person, and I would hate to know I had to stay by myself all the time. And I know there's a lot of people on here, you stay by yourself, and I tell you, I know how you must feel, because a good example is there's 6 of us here all the time, and then we got our dogs and our animals, and you know we appreciate one another's company, but we were
basically though during the week I'm here by Bradley and Michaela's here. They don't talk hardly, or Michaela can't talk. And if the 2 boys are here, they're doing their own thing. I basically don't talk all day until he gets home. Then it's on.
Well, then she just mostly listens.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were in the mountains last week. We had Robbie Lynn's family. We had 19 adults and 2 babies in the house. And most people say, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. But trust me, we had a great time. We still loved one another at the end of the week, and we didn't kill anybody. But it was a really good time. It was one of those deals where you was together all week. Well, actually, we was together like 9 days up there. The time we were in.
I count by 7 times.
Well, anyway, that's close enough. But anyway, part of the time we were in Western North Carolina, the rest of the time we were in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and it just brings you so much joy and makes you feel better when you're around people. You know, we may not always agree on everything, but we agree to disagree and move on. But it's just something about fellowship. It reminds me of the Garden of Eden, you know, when God created Adam and he seen that he was alone and lonely and needed a helpmate, and he created Eve, the woman, and then they began to have children. But you know, even in the early on, God realized that man didn't need to be alone, and that's men and women. You need one another, and it'll drive you crazy, I would think, if you had to stay by yourself all the time. I guess that's why something like YouTube's good for people that
like you?
No, I'm talking about people that are shut-ins or maybe home by themselves. I guess YouTube is a good outlet, or you look forward to seeing different channels pop up. I know I like to see other channels pop up, and I got people here with me, so I can imagine being home by yourself. Tell you, I would just go crazy.
That's what happened, I think, to a lot of the nursing home residents when they were shut everything down. I mean, a lot of nursing home residents, I think, died from loneliness.
True. I agree with that 100%.
Because nobody could go see them. I mean, it's bad enough you locked in there and can't get out, and nobody could come see you. I think they got depression and died from basically being lonely.
Well, they said in the last year and a half now, the suicide rate's been increased 600%. That's terrible. But I believe it's got a lot to do with loneliness, depression, and not being around other people. Like we talking about tonight, human interaction, fellowship, one with another. That's what we like about our church family. We got the fellowship. We have men's and women's fellowship meetings. The first Thursday night of each month, and we used to just do the men's meeting or the women's meeting, but now we combine them, and we have a lot better turnout. And as long as you got the women involved, you have a lot better food, and it's just good, a win-win situation all the way around. So leave us some comments below as we continue to talk about what you feel about human interaction, fellowship, your opinion on, the loneliness and depression and the suicide. You think a lot of that's contributed to being alone and being shut in and lack of fellowship.
Yeah.
And that's the devil's tactic. He come to kill, steal, and destroy. Or steal, kill, and destroy. But he also come to divide and conquer. And I think that's, this is not a devotion, but you think about it. Jesus left the 99 to go find the one that was out there by himself, bring him back into the fold. And I believe that's something we're missing. When we grew up,
Well, it's just like you had preached about the little coal, the charcoal. As long as you got them stacked together, they hot or create heat. But when you let one get off by itself, it starts getting cold.
it starts to go out.
Yeah.
But they say you roll it back in there, it'll heat back up. So that's a good analogy too. But when we were growing up, we sat on porches together. The kids. I'm talking about, even forget the pandemic and everything that's been going on. Without that, people so busy.
Fast paced.
The devil just got everything so fast. It's still 24 hours in a day, but it sure don't feel like it sometimes. That's because we're so busy. But
we got something to fill up all that.
Yeah, but used to, you had time to go sit on your grandmama's porch or your aunt or uncle's porch and help them shell butter beans or peas like Robbie Lynn does here sometime, or just go and take the time on a Saturday evening and sit around and talk. Technology is good, but a lot of it has ruined the country and ruined the world and divided families and caused a lot of heartache and pain. They say we're more connected now than we've ever been, but sometimes I feel like we're more disconnected now. Even though we communicate one with another like on here, there's nothing like that handshake or that hug or that smile in person, that one-on-one conversation, which is something else I jotted down. We draw strength from each other and we encourage each other, especially when you're around one another. There's nothing like being in the presence of other people, in my opinion. And whether they're like-minded people or not, I like being around like-minded people. I also be around people that maybe they don't see things exactly the way I see them. That's fine. Maybe I can learn something from them. They can learn something from us. It's just, I just think fellowship is a good thing, a really good thing. And I think that's something that we're missing in this country and around the world. And that's caused a lot of heartache, pain, and depression. I mentioned this already, but we need each other's smiles, hugs, handshakes, communication, conversations, things that bring out the positive energy in each other. I mean, it's just hard to explain it, but most of you know what we're talking about. You get around other people and you find out that they're missing the same thing too. They like your company.
Well, it's like when you're having a bad day or a bad week, we'll get in touch with certain friends and say we need some fellowship.
Right. Yeah.
That just to vent with each other, I guess, especially with pastors. We got pastor friends that only they would
their
understand
wives,
what pastors go through, so, and it helps to vent
See.
with each other.
What people don't realize is sometimes being a pastor and pastor's wife can be a lonely, you can put you in a lonely place because nobody understands. You know, we're not complaining. We love pastoring the church, pastoring on here, ministering on here. I love y'all's emails and prayer requests and phone calls and letters in the mail and gifts in the mail, whatever, and also here in person. But what a lot of people don't realize is the pastor and his wife deals with everybody's problems. And that's I'm not saying that complaining, but that's why we need more prayer. That's why we need to be encouraged, because we know what a lot of people are dealing with on a daily basis that maybe somebody else don't have a clue.
Well, a lot of times we don't get invited to certain places and activities
Because they're doing worldly things, or they know that. But you know what? I count that honor and a privilege, because I appreciate them respecting us like that, but also I appreciate the fact that evidently we must be living our life. We must be making setting a good example for them not to want to invite you to places like that. So, yeah, even at work, you don't have fellowship like you used to, as well as in a lot of families. Everybody's isolated to themselves, and like I said, not blaming all this on the pandemic, what's been going on the last year and a half or 2 years now, but it was a lot like that before then.
Because of time, yeah. But
Because
then the
time is
pandemic came along and
Made it
everybody's
even
scared
worse.
to go to grandma's or scared to go to church, or it's just made it a lot
To
worse.
me, a person's facial expressions, the smiles,
That's your identity.
it is your identity, but you can say a lot in a smile. I mean, when you're talking to somebody and you can see their face, that lets you know, you can tell whether they're receiving what you're saying, whether they're rejecting, maybe they feel concerned. You can just read somebody most of the time by their facial expression. And there's nothing like passing somebody on the road and giving them a smile, or walking by somebody. I mean, a smile to me, that's just like, that's your personality on display right in front of everybody. And I hate the fact that that's been covered up a lot lately. Isolation too, from the enemy, using the fear tactic to try to keep people away from one another. Because the enemy knows that united we stand, divided we fall. And you know, you're talking about leaving the 99 to go find the one, but it's like even on movies and stuff where you might see something in, you know, like a lion or a tiger or something, or coyote or something, they would try to isolate if there was a pack of like deer, of a group of deer, or
They would find the weak
they would try to
that's
find the
all by
weak one
itself.
off by itself. And that's what the devil tries to do. That's why I think, not talking about just our channel, but a lot of channels in general, I think that's why they're so important, because the comments that I see on this channel and the comments I see on other people's channels, it lets me know that people are being touched by these YouTube channels. And sometimes I think these channels are some of the only outlets that some people have. I'll even go as far to say some of you have talked to us about personal issues, and we've told you before we never mentioned anything on here that y'all didn't want us to. But I feel like some of them I feel like they think they can communicate, confide in us more than they could with even some family members, and we count that on and a privilege. But fellowship is something that's missing, and that's causing a lot of problems to people. I think the lack of fellowship and isolation by yourself can cause sickness.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can think positive and help make yourself feel better, make yourself feel well, just as much as if you were to do it the other way, think negative and be down and out. I still think you can almost make yourself sick, so to speak.
Yeah. Definitely, I think that.
But I feel like the people feel like they're in bondage again, especially since, you know, first of 2019. But even before then, I'd hear people say that, you know, people don't visit like they used to, and don't go sit on the porch and chew the fat, as we'd say here in the South. Have a glass of ice cold sweet tea, lemonade.
Cool.
I remember my mom and them would sit on the porch, and I shared that in the Come Sit a Spell early on when I first started, by being raised in South Carolina as a young boy. But I remember my mama and my aunts and uncles, and most they would go, they'd be sitting on the porches and talking, and us kids would be out there playing in the yard. It was just so much more fellowship and unity. Seemed like when we were growing
Closeness.
up. Well, how about a while ago we was talking on the way back to church? Robbie and I was talking about, you know, we got married in 1987, and
Don't tell our age. I don't know how old we were when we got married.
Boy, you care, I don't care. But anyway, we got married in 87, and you know, it was the 80s.
We were 12. No.
The 80s were real good, and even through the 90s and all, and it just seemed like we started the church in 2006, and it seemed like everything was doing good. But it seemed like since like around 2011 or 12, when we moved up into the new church, after we built the new church, it seemed like everything's been such a fast pace of things going in the wrong direction ever since around 2012, 13 or something like that. So, but even, you know, back when we had the old church, remember we had and I want to share
We
that
fellowship all the time.
all the time. And we're going to do a video on that. We keep saying and haven't done it yet. We're going to do a video on how we started that church, but how God started the church. But even back then, just in 2006, right on up to 2012, we had so much fellowship. We was always having a birthday party down there. Matter of fact, that's where Robbie Lynn pulled the wool over my eyes and had me a surprise 40th birthday party in that church. And when we show you the fellowship hall, aka dungeon, basically underneath the church, y'all gonna wonder how we got so many people in there.
We had homecomings down there. We had wedding, what you call it?
Vow
No,
renewals.
The thing you eat afterwards.
Oh, reception.
Receptions
Yeah.
down there and everything.
I'm talking. We had
Steak
weddings,
dinners.
and we had husband and wife renew their vows and have the receptions downstairs. And that downstairs, and I'm telling too much of that about that because that'll be on the other video. But that downstairs used to be the way that church was built on the hill. That used to be the bottom side of the church, and it was built in 1890, and they would
It used to be open where they
pull their horses and buggies underneath the church. And where the baptism is now was dug down in the ground. I was told that was dug to water their horses while they were in church. That's pretty cool. I love old stuff. I still wish that now, I still wish we was on that dirt road in that old church. And I'll show you the two churches, the difference in the two when we do that video. But fellowship was big back then, and even in the church today, we have a men's and women's fellowship meeting once a month, but we don't have as much fellowship we used to. But we need to start back having. We used to have Bible studies more than we do now. You know, homecomings and different birthday parties. Just a lot more. But it's not just it's not just because of the pandemic though. It's got a lot to do with just people are just
too
busy and want to do things on their own. Me and my four and no more. And I'm totally opposite of that. I mean, I'm looking for somebody to talk to. And if you don't talk to me, you're gonna listen to me, or you have to leave.
Amen. Preach it.
I love to talk. I can't help it. I love people. I love to be around people. That's why you communicate on our videos. You know, if you notice, I usually comment back, and you comment. I bet they're like, "Man, shut up!" But hey,
That's
you ain't
why
got
we need to do a live.
Yeah, we need to do a live.
You can't type that fast though, or you don't have to type.
Well,
You
I just talk. They got to type. Yeah. We just got to read the video, read the comments. You have to do that for them. But you look on your phone and do that. But anyway, we just want to jump on here and talk a little bit about that fellowship. Let us know what you think about fellowship, good or bad, human interaction. You notice, I noticed that a lot, like when a couple is married and the husband or the wife dies, it seems like the other one is just almost forgotten, or just seems like life's not the same. Of course, it's not, because you lose your helpmate, but I mean, it just don't seem like it's the in many areas, I would say.
There are people that die from a broken heart after they lose their spouse. If that was truly their soulmate.
Yeah.
If y'all see ears, this is our little girl
Oh,
between
right.
us.
Yeah, that's Duchess.
Tell them, hey Dutch,
Hey, Dutch. Look at that.
this is Mama's queen.
Yeah, and she knows it too. But,
Spoiled.
yeah. So, that's about all I had jotted down to keep me on track. But, yeah, I love fellowship. I like meeting new people. Like at the Applewood restaurant the other night. We was there. I was met a Vietnam vet, shook his hand, and I should have got that on camera. I got some other things on camera. I didn't get to record him, but I seen he had that Vietnam vet hat on. And when I shook his hand, thanked him for his service, he said he really appreciated that, and all of our veterans need more appreciation. I'm sure they feel like they're on an island by themselves as well.
That's just like when we go camping. If you anywhere near us, he's gonna know you before we leave.
I'm probably know your name and where you live, where you come. I might not know your address, but I know what state you come from. And
We've had a few people that give us their address. And,
I talked it right out of them.
well, no, they said
No,
if
I'm
you come
just
up our way, look us up.
Yeah.
He goes around the whole campground looking for somebody to talk to.
That's just who I am. I love people. That's why I knew that some of our family members laughed me a scorn, if you say, laughed me to scorn about starting this YouTube channel. That it probably wouldn't even get off the ground. 50 subscribers max. And I'm not boasting, and we got more than that. Thank God for that. But I knew as much as I love to talk, and I've not always been this way. I used to not like fellowship when I was in school. I just don't know why. I just didn't.
You growed out of that, didn't
I
you?
growed out of it. Yep.
Oh.
I growed out of it. But anyway, we just love and appreciate all of you. I hope this channel brings you great joy. Whether it's a devotion that we have, Robert Lynn's canning or cooking in the kitchen, whatever she does in there. And she's got a lot more she's going to be doing in there.
I got a bushel of apples I got to do something with.
So I know what you're going to do with that.
Some of them.
Yeah, apple butter. Apple butter. But whether it's that or you just come sit a spell or with the animals or anything, and Dutchess wanting to get down, go ahead. We just hope you enjoy this channel. We appreciate it if you like and subscribe if you are not a subscriber, and share these videos with anybody you feel like may be encouraged by it. But that one we had by the river in Tennessee last week to come sit a spell about genuine people. We try to be genuine through and through, and genuine here on camera as well as off camera.
I also wanted to thank Miss Mimi Todd. I got my book in the mail today, my cookbook she sent me in the mail. I appreciate that very much. That was very sweet of her, and I know I can use it. I know I will use it. Just gotta
Tell
go
them what's the name
so
of
yesterday, today, and tomorrow cookbook.
Make sure y'all
From the people that were selling them, it's like it's a home for,
Mentally ill.
it's the, how do you say that, Bador Center?
come up there.
The Bador Center.
Turn around. Hold it up. Focus.
She bought a few of them from this place for, it's like a it's a home for like mentally challenged, I think, and it was a donation to them, and she bought more than, a few of them, and she sent me one, and I sure do appreciate that. If y'all get a chance, check her channel out, Mimi's Home and Garden. She's got a lot of good videos. I love watching her. Her videos are not extremely long, and they're very informative, and she's so neat and tidy, and I like people like that. I wish I was like that.
And she's got the sweetest voice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You might not always see her, like her grandchildren got a hold to her for not seeing her face, but
Her voice is just puts you to sleep.
calming. Yeah. But I appreciate her for that.
And I appreciate her for sending it too, because we got that post office box now 1411 Post Office Box, Darlington, P.O. Box, Darlington, South Carolina, 29540. And man, when we first opened that thing, I was up there checking about every other day. And come to find out, when I'd applied for it and they told me everything was good to go, they hadn't opened it, and that's why I wasn't getting any mail. So another, and we've gotten, I think that's the only 2 things we've gotten out of the post office box. We had some other people, other channels sent us some other stuff, but that came through the regular mail. But and we appreciate that too. But another one we wanted to give a shout out to, I got some stickers in the mail from Yogi Hollow Farm. You see that? This won't focus good. But anyway, Yogi Hollow Farm. Go check them out over there. I'm sure you'll like some of their content. And
We've gotten honey and bone sauce and comfrey from Permapastures.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. I've already used almost a whole bottle of that honey.
yeah.
It's delicious. I use it for my granola.
Yeah, and we got some CDs in the mail from Celebrating Appalachia a while back. So we appreciate those, all those channels, and that's something I think I'm gonna start trying to do. I mean, our channel's not big as a lot of those channels we named, but I think I'm that type of person. I like to give a shout out to help some of the smaller channels, and I got a couple of them in mind that we're gonna mention. We might try to do that on the Come Sit a Spell, at least 1 or 2. Maybe not every time, but maybe every now and then, because I know how it is getting started with a small channel. My channel's, I'm talking about smaller than we are. I'm talking about like 100 subscribers or less. We started out there too. Everybody on here did. So, but check out Mimi's channel and Yogi Hollow Farms. Check those guys out. I think they're in South Dakota. So check them out. I'm sure you'll be blessed there. From Pastures, North Carolina, and Celebrating Appalachia, of course, in North Carolina, Western North Carolina. But anyway, fellowship one with another. Because
well, actually, talking about fellowship, we got to fellowship with Miss Tipper and her
husband,
whole family, while we were on vacation in Tennessee.
Yeah, Miss Tipper and Mr. Matt. Man, me
That
and
was
him,
amazing.
he got a lot of, me and him got a lot in common. He and I got a lot in common. And when Cody, forgive me, Corey. Corey and Katie were there, the Presley girls, as well as Austin, Corey's fiance. So
we went out and ate dinner with them.
Yep.
And went back.
We ate dinner. You're right.
Dinner with them, and then went to like a rest area park, like.
Yep.
And sat and talked. I know they probably were like.
We kept them about 3 hours. I hope we didn't wear our welcome out with them. But the only disappointment I had about that was
they didn't bring
the instruments. Yeah, maybe next time. But anyway, we appreciate you. Just fellowship one another, because you can't get, once the day's gone, and never get it back again. So enjoy life while you can, live it to the fullest, and just fellowship one with another as much as you can. And it's one of those come sit a spells. I just don't want to quit talking.
It feels like they're sitting here. We don't want them to go home.
It does. That's really what it feels like. I can honestly say on all of them, really, but especially the come sit a spells and the devotions. But it does us a lot of good to see the comments and the thumbs up. And I do hope you'll share this wherever, Facebook or anywhere you share it. Not for us, but just that we can hopefully be encouragement to somebody else, because there's so much depression, loneliness. If there's somebody looking for somebody to talk to, I'm the man. I'll talk to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said,
Are you talking about Miss Kim?
Yeah, I didn't get my email. Well, she did say share it. I wouldn't, I
don't know how much she wanted to share.
I know, but one of our subscribers, she come over from Mr. Howie Ferguson at Cedar Creek Homestead before he passed away, and she's been with us ever since. Well, she's having some health issues right now, but she I'm gonna read I'm not gonna read about her health issues, but I'm gonna read her email that she sent me right here.
Right there.
Okay, she said she told about her, we know what's going on, we know what's going on with her with her health issues, we're praying about that, and y'all just pray for her, she needs a lot of prayer right now. She says, I've never been saved officially.
I guess she means baptized.
Maybe. She says, since finding your channel since finding your channel via Mr. Howie at Cedar Creek Homestead, I've spent the last months hoping and praying for a time that we could somehow make it happen. Keep watching that, make sure it don't cut off. Now I know I'm in St. Petersburg, Florida, but I sure would give anything to get up your way. I know you guys are extremely busy, but there is no other man of the cloth that I respect and trust more than you. I don't know if there are churches that you travel down south to visit, or perhaps one we could meet somewhere along the way. Now I understand that anyone can do this, but I've developed a connection with y'all, and I see no one else doing me the honor. I would love for you to share this on your channel as well. Not for me or you, but for the King, Almighty King. And then she asked what we think. So I want to be saved. I want you to do it. I figure she's saying baptized, want me to do it. I want the world to witness my giving my life to our Lord and Savior. Anyways, I'm going, and then she put her information at the bottom, her phone number and email address. So we're going to communicate with her back on email, and if we get to do that, I hope we'll get to do that. We will video it. I think that's what she wants us to do too, is video her getting baptized. But this is a lady that we've never met, only through YouTube. And that does us a lot of good to know that she's got that much confidence and faith in us.
She's about 8 hours away.
Yep. So y'all be praying about that. Praying for Miss Kim Shone. That's Kim, S-H-O-N-E. She needs a lot of prayer right now, and she wanted me to share that. I read what I read tonight, as well as the baptism itself when that happens. So hopefully it won't be. We can make that happen in the near future. But y'all be praying about that. I realize it's really humbling though that really.
Guess you don't realize.
You don't realize the impact you're making. Just like Mr. Howard Ferguson, he don't have a clue the impact he made on so many people. I hear people say all the time, man, we never met, never shook his hand, never hugged his neck in person.
You felt like you could.
Yeah, that's right. You felt like family. Well, that's what Miss Tipper and them said. They felt like they've known us all of our life. We feel the same way. So we will come visit some more you YouTubers too.
You better not tell him your address.
Give me your address. I'm gonna hunt you down. We told Corey and them before we left up there. She's talking about the wedding. I said, you better send us the invitation. Robbie Lynn told us that if you don't want him to come, don't send him an invitation. Because if we get invited, we come. We're not sure we don't get invited. But anyway, we love and appreciate all of you. Hope God will richly bless you the rest of this week. And until next time, golly, it went so fast. Y'all remember, Jesus Christ loves you, and Jesus Christ is the answer for any and everything you're dealing with in life. Hope you have a blessed rest of the week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.